everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the truth about Libras. So many of you guys are familiar with my dog Bernie. He is a Libra and oh my gosh, I'm so lucky to finally have a little Libra pet because they are the most loving, sweet, likes everyone, is easygoing, he's a good listener, and he's just the best little Libra in the world. So Libra is an air sign, so other air signs may relate to this video. That would be Gemini and Aquarius. And I have to say, going into this, that for some reason, air signs just fuck me up in all senses. Air signs for me have been the hardest to understand during my journey with astrology, so I still feel like I cannot even describe the uniqueness of an air sign with words. And Libra is such a nice sign, like really. But I do have my rising in Libra, and so I do connect much more to Libra than I do to Gemini and Aquarius. I just feel like I understand Libra the best out of all the air signs, if that makes sense. But yes, my rising is a Libra, which a rising, if you didn't know, rising is basically what someone would think if they just met you. Like they spend maybe a little while with you and this is what they think you're like. So you're like outermost layer personality. Many of you guys, since you know me only through the computer, may think that I match the Libra traits like insanely well. I am always keen to chill with a Libra because they're so laid back, they're so nice. Libra is ruled by Venus, which is the planet of all things love, beautiful, sensual, life experiences. There's only one other sign that's ruled by Venus, and that is Taurus. So me being a Taurus sun, Taurus moon, and Libra ascendant, I am extremely ruled by Venus. So I also understand the planet of Venus really well. Before we get started, as always, I gotta do a little bit of a spiel here. I have astrology merch. This is your sign if you wanna pick one up. There is a link in the description box. There is a video in the description box that will teach you more about astrology. I have one, it's kind of like almost an astrology 101. If you're new to astrology and want to start somewhere, that's a good place to start. There'll be a link to that. And as always, I do want to say that if you are a Libra and you feel like you don't fit some of the traits, you're not gonna fit every single trait because that's just not how astrology works. And most people don't understand that astrology is way more complex than having one zodiac sign and reading a horoscope. You should look into your other signs as well, and also look if you're on a cusp, because that could also affect things. And the cusp is just like a couple days at the end of a sign and a couple days at the beginning of the sign where you're kind of a mix of both. For me, I'm an Aries Taurus cusp. Anyway, wow, that was a long intro. Okay, here we go. So some famous Libras are Joy Behar, Zach Galifianakis, Gwyneth Paltrow, Hugh Jackman, Matt Damon, Kim Kardashian, Grace Helbig, Ryan Reynolds, Cardi B, Gwen Stefani, Zac Efron, Maddie Ziegler, Kate Winslet, Eminem, Lil Wayne, Trevor Moran, Jesse Wellens, Kevin Durant, Halsey, Will Smith, Simon Cowell, Ashley Simpson, Kate Walsh, Nick Cannon, Usher, Avril Lavigne, Tom Petty, Jacob Sartorius, Snoop Dogg, T.I., and T-Pain. T.I. and T-Pain. One thing I want to point out about Libras right away is most of them have really good looks. They're normally really pretty people. They are normally well-dressed, beautiful looking, known for having a gorgeous smile. They present themselves in a good way. They just come across as having it all together. They are a very charming sign. That's what you really are noticing when you're around a Libra, is they have this sense of charm, this like wit, this almost flirtiness. They just can captivate a room because they have so much emotion when they speak, and they speak in ways that makes people want to listen to them because they just of the way that they word it, where they put emphasis and where they don't. They are known for being able to put words together nicely. Oftentimes they write poetry or songs or anything like that. Libras also have this sense of dreaminess that I love about them. They just have this like, I don't even know how to explain it. First of all, they have this like calmness about them. Libras have this overall just coolness, they're just cool cats most of the time. Even-keeled, easygoing. They sometimes can come across like maybe their mind's really simple in there, but it's not. They just present, they don't like dump all their baggage out constantly or anything that they are really thinking. They're much more reserved about that type of thing. They just have this way of being smooth, smoothing things over, talking smoothly. Sometimes I think they have great voices for radio.
And you were nominated for your first Emmy. Congratulations, with Martha Stewart.
When Martha told me we was nominated, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't freak out. Like if I saw a dead body, I would be like, oh my God, how did they die? Let me help investigate.
Air signs have this ability to imagine, and so a Libra can see things from multiple sides.
Rob and China are fighting again.
What's the fighting about?
I don't know. I mean, like
intense?
She texts him crazy things. He texts her crazy things all night long.
They're the one in the group of friends, always likes to stay neutral, doesn't have any super strong opinions on anything.
I'm just gonna try to stay neutral and not get involved.
They want everyone to be heard, everyone to feel heard. They're like intuitive in that sense that they can sense how people are feeling. And so they have this amazing ability to mediate situations, like to calm a fight, help people see things from the other person's side. That's why a ton of them are actually mediators. They are represented by the scales. And so they're all about fairness, peace, equality.
Muslims didn't kill us on 9/11? Is that what you're saying?
Excuse me, extremists.
What religion were they in?
What religion was Mr. McVeigh? Mr. McVeigh was an extremist as well, and he killed people.
70% of the country.
I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here now. I don't. I'm outraged by that statement.
You're outraged about Muslims killed us on 9/11.
And for a Libra, that all comes with time. That's why they are known to be indecisive. They are indecisive, and yes, they fucking are. Like, good luck getting them to decide on anything, like especially where they're gonna eat, what movie they're gonna watch. They're like crippled, especially by serious decisions like moving somewhere or taking a job or deciding on a major. Like, that just messes them up. They really hate decisions because they can see it from all angles. They have this ability to see how each possibility could be good. And they want to take their time, weigh their options, and make a decision that's going to be best for them.
Let me just bug you about music, because we're waiting for new music, and what's happening?
Buffering.
The music is buffering?
Buffering. Mm-hmm. That clock is spinning. It's ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Any second now. Tick, 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 tick.
No, really?
It's coming.
And the last thing you're gonna wanna do with a Libra is push them into making a decision, because that is gonna make them even more nervous about the whole decision. But yeah, they like to see everything from all angles, really weigh possibilities and options. So for this reason, a lot of them are independent voters or libertarians. I think to be your best self, you gotta learn how to do that a little better, because Libras can be super successful, but their biggest issue is they can't decide if they want to be or not. So they can't commit fully. And if you're not committed fully, you're not gonna succeed. So you gotta learn how to commit a little bit more. Commitment is hard for them in general, relationships, fucking committing to subscribing to a YouTube channel. I'm sure you Libras had to give me a couple watches before you subscribed. And if it comes down to a decision and they're having trouble deciding, it's normally not because it's too hard to decide. It's because either they just don't care either way, or they care about both options so much that it just seems ridiculous to have to decide between them. Really hard for them to decide on things like tattoos or buying a car, like anything really permanent. Like, permanence scares them because they don't want to make the wrong choice. So they're cautious, and I think the rest of us could probably learn that from a Libra. They also have trouble committing to like social events, like, hey, you want to go get dinner with me next week? How about next Wednesday night? And they're like, oh, let me check my calendar. I'll let you know. I don't know. They just have trouble with planning. It's harder for them to follow through. A lot of the times Libras come across as like flaky, but they want to be liked so badly. Libras truly, it really matters to them what people think. If a Libra thinks someone thinks they're a bad person or thinks something negative about them, it like drives them insane. And there seems to be two types of Libras. There's Libras that are extremely confident and maybe not as confident on the inside. And then there's really just Libras who struggle with confidence. And if that is you and you are a Libra, I wish you could see what everyone else can see. Like, you are a beautiful person. Normally, physically even, person inside, outside, you are a beautiful person. So a lot of the times they can come across as uncertain of themselves and just not confident about their decisions and the way they act, and maybe they're kind of quiet and like reserved. There's also a side of Libras who come across very confident but struggle with confidence on the inside and need to hear compliments a lot. They love to be complimented. They need that reassurance. And it's a shame because they sometimes just don't fully believe in themselves. And a lot of them end up being underachievers because of that. Libras also have an amazing sense of creativity. They are normally involved in either a hobby or something that's creative, artistic, whether it's acting, singing, directing, something like that. They they are all about expression. And a lot of them end up being interior decorators actually, because they have a great eye for decor. Like their house is normally poppin', you know what I'm saying? They have like a whole theme, it all looks good. They are super into their surroundings. It's a big deal for a Libra, and making sure it looks nice. Libras have a tendency to just want a life of luxury, and so even though they can be known for being very good with money, that's the biggest issue they have, is sometimes they like to buy really fancy things. So that's always kind of a struggle for them. I have also known Libras that really are like the opposite with money, and they just want to control it and keep as much of it as they can, and for them that's almost a luxury, if that makes sense. They just have a great sense of style, and that's an air sign thing in general, that they just know how to surround themselves with beautiful things and create an environment. Normally like their environment to be ordered and serene and easy to deal with. So when it comes to them as like a social being, as a friend, they are really good with their interpersonal relationships. In fact, that's really where they shine. They normally can give attention to a small group of people more than a larger crowd. They tend to really want to nurture a few close relationships. The great thing about Libras is they're really good listeners. They're always gonna want to hear what you have to say. Actually, I have a therapist, and my therapist told me to be an empty cup, because when you're a full cup and someone tries to tell you what their problems are, you know, there's nowhere for them to put their problems because the cup's already full. Libras are an empty cup. They get it. They know how to just completely like wipe their feelings off and wipe their issues away so they can be there for you. And they are really good at that. And sometimes that can be an issue for them because they will put other people before themselves.
Naturally, we wanted to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, which is one of our favorite spots. His and mine. So we pull up in the drive-thru, you know.
You and Willie Nelson pull up in the drive-thru.
We're in the drive-thru, and we ordering the chicken. They give it to us, and when they give it to us, they hand us the big bucket. Take the top off, and we both put our hand in at the same time, and we grab the same piece of chicken at the same damn time. And I said, you know what, Willie? That's yours. Go ahead, take that, dog.
Libras are all about peace, keeping the peace. They do not like injustice. They cannot stand feeling like something is unfair. They normally have a real heart for charity. Air signs in general have a real heart to want to change the world or help the world. Because of this, they are normally woke as fuck. They know all about politics and religion, interested in other countries and the world. They are really open to stuff like that. And a lot of them end up in like careers that have to do with that. Maybe it's a community leader or a politician or in some type of legal thing or helping people. Maybe they're working in corrections facilities or counseling or something like that. That's where you'll probably find a Libra. One, I guess, of the negative traits of Libra is they will avoid confrontation as much as possible. They do not like to argue. When people are arguing, a Libra is just freaking out in their head.
It's Chloe. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Wait, why are you pissed off at me?
Hashtag pissed.
Oh, hashtag disloyal.
Kim,
What?
you are a traitor. That you would have the nerve to go.
They just can't stand that. They just want everyone to get along. They want to keep the peace. And they will do anything not to be in confrontation. They'll let problems slide for a long time. They will flat out lie if they have to get out of meeting with you and talking about something. But overall, Libras are amazing because without Libras, the world would be pretty hectic. Libras keep the peace. Libras know how to mediate and to see both sides of everything and encourage everyone to get along. They're somewhat the sunshine of the zodiac sign, even though, you know, Leo is ruled by the sun. Don't worry, Leos, I'm not trying to steal your thunder. But I think Libras just bring this like bright, very needed energy to the world. And I thank you, Libras. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to know more about astrology, I have other videos below as well as other signs. I'm going every single month, so next up will be Scorpio and then Sagittarius, Capricorn. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you learned something, and that's it for me today, guys. I will see you next time.